Welcome back to Behind the Legends. This is our second episode, where we dive deep into the lives of fascinating people, uncovering their personal stories and the little-known details that shaped who they are. Today, we're exploring the legendary Johnny Depp. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us for more incredible stories, because you won't want to miss what's coming next. Let's get started. Behind the Legends, Johnny Depp. Alright, let's talk about Johnny Depp, the man behind the fame, fortune, and all those unforgettable movie roles. You know him as Captain Jack Sparrow, Edward Scissorhands, and so many other characters, but today we're peeling back the curtain. Who is Johnny Depp when the cameras stop rolling? Spoiler alert, his real life is just as dramatic as his films, maybe even more so. We're not here to judge, just to explore. From his rocky teenage years to the global headlines about his personal life, we're diving deep. And don't worry, this isn't a dry history lesson. We'll break it all down into 4 phases and keep it real. So, grab a coffee or maybe a glass of wine, it's going to be an interesting ride. Phase 1, Roots and Early Struggles. Alright, let's rewind the clock to where it all began, Owensboro, Kentucky. Johnny Depp wasn't born into fame or fortune, far from it. His childhood was a bit of a roller coaster. His family moved around constantly, almost like they were rehearsing for a traveling circus act, minus the elephants. By the time he was 15, he had already lived in more than 20 different homes. Talk about exhausting. But the real challenge wasn't the moving, it was the tension at home. Depp's relationship with his mom, Betty Sue, was complicated. She was tough, sometimes too tough, but she also had a huge influence on him. Meanwhile, his parents' divorce when he was a teenager only added to the instability. Imagine being a kid and feeling like the ground beneath you was always shifting. Music became Johnny's escape. He picked up a guitar and poured his heart into it. By the time he hit his teens, he was playing in garage bands and dreaming of becoming a rock star. School? Let's just say it wasn't his thing. He dropped out at 16 to chase his music dreams. Bold move, right? But hey, sometimes life has other plans, and for Johnny, Hollywood was waiting just around the corner. Phase 2, Fame and Inner Turmoil. Now, let's fast forward a few years to Hollywood. Johnny Depp's big break didn't come from a carefully plotted plan, it came from a chance encounter with Nicolas Cage. One conversation later, he's auditioning, and before you know it, he's landing his first acting gig. Then came 21, Jump Street, and boom, overnight heartthrob. Sounds like a dream, right? For Johnny, not so much. He absolutely hated being labeled a teen idol. Imagine wanting to play guitar and channel rock and roll rebellion, and instead, you're plastered on every teen magazine cover. Depp felt trapped, like he was wearing a mask that wasn't his. Pretty boy wasn't exactly the vibe he was going for. Behind the scenes, things weren't much better. The pressure of sudden fame, coupled with his own insecurities, started to weigh him down. To cope, Depp turned to drugs and alcohol. What started as a way to take the edge off became a darker spiral into addiction. It wasn't glamorous or edgy, just messy and painful. But here's the twist, even in the middle of all that chaos, Johnny was finding his way. He started seeking out roles that let him break free from the cookie-cutter image, the weird, the quirky, the unforgettable. That rebellious streak? It wasn't just for show. Depp was carving out a niche, even if it meant walking a rockier road. Phase 3, The Rebellious Youth and Career Beginnings. Johnny Depp's adolescence was marked by instability and a longing for independence. Born in Kentucky and raised across various cities in Florida, his family life was far from ordinary. His parents' frequent moves and eventual divorce left Depp with a sense of rootlessness that would later shape his artistic and personal choices. His early years weren't marked by an obvious path to stardom, rather, they reflected a rebellious spirit, one that would define much of his adult life. The teenager who once struggled to fit in found solace in music. Depp was a self-taught guitarist and played in several local bands, often immersing himself in the world of rock and roll. As a teenager, Depp dropped out of high school to pursue his dream of being a musician. However, a fortuitous encounter with actor Nicolas Cage steered him towards acting, a decision that would dramatically alter his life. His first break came with a minor role in A Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984, where he played the ill-fated Glenn. Though the film wasn't a standout for Depp, it gave him a taste of the silver screen and propelled him further into the Hollywood spotlight. However, it was his role as the brooding young cop Tom Hansen in the TV series 21 Jump Street, 1987 to 1991, that launched him into stardom. The series capitalized on his good looks, but Depp was frustrated by being pigeonholed as the heartthrob actor. He loathed the label, yearning for roles that would allow him to explore his darker, more complex side. During this time, Depp's personal life was also in the public eye. His first serious relationship was with actress Jennifer Grey, but it was his romance with Winona Ryder that became the stuff of tabloid legend. Their relationship was intense and passionate. Depp even had Winona Forever tattooed on his arm as a sign of their love. Yet, it was also fraught with turmoil, mirroring the chaotic energy of Depp's youth. The media frenzy surrounding their relationship made it clear that Depp was as much a fixture of tabloid gossip as he was a rising star in Hollywood. But through it all, Depp remained determined to carve out a career that would allow him to be more than just a pretty face. Phase 4: Maturity and Shaping the Star Image. As Johnny Depp matured into adulthood, his career evolved in ways that defied Hollywood expectations. No longer content to fit the mold of the heartthrob actor, Depp began seeking roles that would allow him to explore more eccentric, emotionally complex characters. In Edward Scissorhands, 1990, Depp showcased his range as an actor, playing a misunderstood, gentle soul with blades for hands. The role solidified his reputation as an actor willing to take on unconventional parts. Depp's collaboration with director Tim Burton, beginning with Edward Scissorhands, continued to define his career, with Burton's surreal sensibilities aligning perfectly with Depp's artistic inclinations. Over the next decade, Depp sought roles that challenged the conventional notion of a movie star. He was drawn to characters who were not easily categorized, such as the pirate Captain Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean, 2003, which catapulted him into global superstardom. Jack Sparrow became one of the most beloved and iconic characters in cinematic history, and Depp's portrayal of the quirky, unpredictable pirate earned him an Academy Award nomination. While this success made Depp one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood, it also complicated his relationship with fame. Depp found himself constantly grappling with the pressure to maintain his success while staying true to his artistic instincts. On the personal front, Depp's relationship with French singer and actress Vanessa Paradis became a cornerstone of his private life. The two had 2 children together and lived in a relatively private setting, far from the prying eyes of the media. Their relationship was often cited as one of Depp's most stable periods, allowing him to find balance amidst the chaos of his fame. But even this relationship had its ups and downs, and it eventually ended in 2012. Depp's need for solitude and his tendency to avoid public attention contributed to the dissolution of his long-term partnership, but also reflected his deeper struggle with the pressures of living under a constant spotlight. Meanwhile, Depp's growing involvement in film production and his exploration of directing projects showcased a different side of his creativity. While his acting career took center stage, Depp's desire to create and shape projects from behind the camera was just as important to him. As a producer, Depp was involved in films like The Rum Diary, 2011, based on the novel by Hunter S. Thompson, a figure Depp had admired for years. His collaborations with Thompson were legendary, and they shared a deep connection that transcended the typical actor-writer relationship. Conclusion: The legacy of Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp's life is a reflection of the complexities and contradictions of fame, rebellion, and artistic integrity. From his rebellious youth to his rise as a global icon, Depp's journey has never been linear. He's an actor who has resisted being defined by any one role, instead opting for parts that challenge both himself and the audiences who watch him. Through his choice of characters, from the tortured Edward Scissorhands to the eccentric Captain Jack Sparrow, Depp has built a career that is as unpredictable and unique as he is. At the same time, his personal life has mirrored the chaos and turbulence of his public persona. Despite his fame, Depp has remained intensely private, fiercely guarding his personal relationships. His partnerships, particularly with Vanessa Paradis, stand as the most enduring aspect of his life outside the limelight, yet even these, like much of his career, have been complicated by the weight of celebrity. Johnny Depp's story is one of contradictions, an artist who seeks both fame and solitude, a man who challenges expectations while striving for personal peace. Ultimately, his legacy will not only be defined by his roles in film, but by the mysterious, often misunderstood man behind the characters. As the years go on, Depp's story continues to unfold, and his journey through the highs and lows of life and career remains a fascinating tale of resilience, rebellion, and transformation. Thanks for watching today's episode on Johnny Depp. We hope you enjoyed learning some new details about his life. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the upcoming episodes. See you soon, and keep following us on Behind the Legends.